It's obviously pretty hard to predict when a WWE PLE is first announced what the show is going to look like because obviously we don't know what kind of storylines there are going to be heading into that show, and there are just so many things that come into play. And I think the same can kind of be said for Clash in Italy. We didn't really know what to expect when it came to Clash in Italy. I'm sure that there was a handful of people that knew that WWE was going to put their biggest names, their biggest stars on the Clash in Italy show. Because with it being in Italy, WWE wants to give those people a bang for their buck, so they want to show them what WWE is truly capable of, and having their biggest names, their biggest talent on that show is one way to do it. However, we have gotten 3 matches confirmed for Clash in Italy, and I don't necessarily think we were expecting them to be as big as they are. So, in this video, we're obviously going to be talking about Clash in Italy and the 3 matches that have been confirmed for Clash in Italy. And real quickly, before we get too far ahead in the video, I want to say that if you are a WWE fan, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. That is all we post is WWE related content. So if you are a WWE fan, again, consider subscribing. It's free. You can always change your mind later. So, taking a look at the 3 matches that were announced, and you obviously have Cody Rhodes versus Gunther for the Undisputed Championship. That's a massive match. That's a match that should be taking place at like WrestleMania or SummerSlam at the very least. And the fact that they have that on Clash in Italy is insane to me. But then you have Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu going at each other for the World Heavyweight Championship, which just so happens to be a tribal combat match. Obviously, I'm going to save the more in depth kind of predictions for the Clash in Italy prediction video that I will be doing. So we're not going to be diving too deep into who I think is going to win. This is just me talking about how insane it is that WWE put these 2 matches on Clash in Italy's card. Because let's be honest, those 2 matches, Cody versus Gunther, Roman versus Jacob, those could be a night 1, night 2 main event of WrestleMania, or at the very least again SummerSlam type of matches. And then to kind of cap it all off, you have the rematch between Brock Lesnar and Obafemi, a rematch that I don't necessarily think a lot of people were expecting to be getting. And again, you have another match that literally just opened night 2 of WrestleMania. So again, I am extremely happy for the people in Italy because they are getting their money's worth with just these 3 matches alone. And honestly, who knows what we could be getting from now until Clash in Italy, because there are some major storylines that could end up making their way onto the Clash in Italy card. Now, my big question is why? Why is WWE loading up Clash in Italy? And it could just be a strictly money thing. To my knowledge, I don't think that Clash in Italy has had a ticket problem in trying to sell tickets and stuff like that. And normally, when WWE is having their problems selling tickets for a show, they normally do the kind of big surprise, like what we got with the whole box thing, and it ended up being Danhausen, or like when they were struggling to sell tickets for Elimination Chamber in Toronto, and they had The Rock come back, and we had the whole Rock wanting Cody's soul kind of shtick that they were trying to tell there. This feels different. This feels like they're just legitimately trying to put on the best show that's possible. And I'm also curious as to what the advertisements are going to be like for Clash in Italy. Are they going to be the same as they normally are here in the US, or are they going to be a little more different? And how is WWE going to pace this show? Because again, I feel like they did a very good job with it. Because again, I feel like they did a pretty good job at that at Backlash, but WrestleMania was so bad. It was so unbelievably bad. So maybe in a way, this is WWE trying to maybe not necessarily fix WrestleMania, because you obviously can't go back and fix it, but kind of giving fans a little bit of a present here. Because again, Clash in Italy having these 3 matches with the amount of names and superstar talent is just insane. Again, I don't know the full story. I don't know if they are having problems selling tickets for Clash in Italy. I don't know if it's one of those situations. I don't know if they're just kind of loading this up for something bigger or as kind of an apology for WrestleMania in a way. But I feel like had they have done that, they would have done that at Backlash. But who knows? The farther and farther we get into this TKO era of the WWE, the harder and harder it is to try to predict on where things are going and why things are happening the way they are. Because you could always kind of tell when it was just WWE where things were going, why things were the way they were. With TKO now on board, it just feels like there are so many constant moving parts. And obviously, TKO being the massive company that it is, that makes sense. And while, yeah, I am super, super excited for Clash in Italy now, I'm curious as to know what's going to happen after Clash in Italy because how is WWE going to follow up a show that has the matches that it already does? And again, the full match card isn't even out yet. So, what is going to be WWE's next step after Clash? Because I have a hard time believing that you're going to be able to outdo what you're doing for Clash in Italy. And obviously, I expect there to be some twists and turns and possibly a Randy Orton return during the Cody versus Gunther match. I'm also just saying that because I don't want Randy to be hurt anymore. Who knows what we're going to be getting out of the tribal combat match between Roman and Jacob, and who knows what we're going to get from Brock versus Oba. I talked about that in my recent video. I don't want to see Brock Lesnar squash Obafemi. I want it to be a competitive match. And if Obafemi was to lose, it needs to be in a competitive match. But there is that worry that I have in the back of my head about Brock Lesnar squashing Oba. Again, we're only 3 matches on this card already, and it's looking like it's a WrestleMania card, or again, at the very least, a SummerSlam card. The fact that WWE is actually doing these 3 matches on one night for a Clash in Italy show, again, is kind of mind blowing to me. Because, yes, there's obviously going to be a lot of eyeballs on it, but it's not going to be on the same level of a WrestleMania or even a SummerSlam. So while I was already excited for Clash in Italy, seeing these 3 matches on the card already have me even more excited to see what's next. What else are we going to get for Clash in Italy? And I'm also excited to see what WWE is going to do to follow up after this Clash in Italy show, which again, 3 matches that we have are absolutely insane. So this is where I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are about these 3 matches already being announced for Clash in Italy. And also let me know what you think WWE's plan is going to be after Clash in Italy. How do you think WWE is going to follow up what is already an insane match card? Again, I was already excited for Clash in Italy. Now I'm even more excited because I wasn't expecting to see 3 matches that legitimately could be a WrestleMania main event on one night. So, as always, leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. And while you're down there, swing by the description and click the Linktree link. That is the only link in the description for a reason. That is because it'll take you to all of the social media platforms for this channel. I do strongly suggest going and checking out our X page. Besides YouTube, I am most active over on X. We do updates for Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and the PLEs. And I will say that yesterday I randomly got a lock on my X account. I don't know why. I don't know what I did because literally all I do on that account is post about wrestling. So I am still able to use X to make posts and all that, but they did say that while my appeal is going through, there is going to be some limitations on the outreach that the post gets. So if you're watching this and you're not following me over on X, go do so. And also, you might not see a post because it's not being pushed out like it normally would. But besides X, you can also find us over on Instagram and TikTok. Over there, you can expect clips from these videos, and it's just another place for me to post when I do upload a video on here to YouTube. So if you do enjoy these videos and you're looking for some extra content, again, Linktree link in the description. It'll take you to wherever you want to go. So with all that said and done, that is going to do it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. Again, both are free, both really help out the channel a lot. And of course, if you have made it to this point of the video, I want to say thank you very, very much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch these videos here, because it genuinely does mean the world to me. And as always, stay tuned for more WWE content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.